Yo, welcome to the tutorial. How to cut your hair at home, coronavirus. A lot of people can't get to the barbershop, so what I have here is this is some plastic that you, like they use at the dry cleaners to cover your clothes. So what I do is put my hand in here, kind of just rip both sides open, and just gather it up. No, the camera angle might be low, so I just gather it up. Get my scissors, and I cut it in half. And what I'm gonna do is just take it like this, and just spread it out. So that really makes for a real good area, and it really facilitates cleanup. So, got a brush. So this is, over here in the corner is my towel rack, but I use it in order to keep the cord out of the way as I cut. And plug my other cords in here. So here we go. Brush, sorry, toothbrush, mirror. All right. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do a fade. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start with the clipper setting all the way to the top here. Just push it all the way forward. So I'm gonna just do a fade around the bottom and the sides. So what I do is typically start from the bottom here and just come up. Come around the ear, hold down. We just want to repeat this all the way around from the bottom of each side. So just on the back, flip some hair off. I want to check it, sit down, and finish going around the back. Use my mirror and the mirror behind me. Again, going around. Again, I'm just bringing it up. That looks pretty decent. Brush off some of his hair. I'm gonna rug out of the way. Brush off some of his hair. Brush it off me some. Now I'm gonna do the same thing this opposite side. Use the mirror here so you can see with it close to the camera. Again, going up. It's actually easier than standing up and looking in the mirror to do it. It's going to be on the opposite side here, so you won't be able to see it that much in the camera. But all I'm going to do is just even this side around so that matches the other. Sometimes what I do when I'm looking straight into the camera, I look at this side and I look at that side and I try to make sure that both sides are even. Let me see if they are. So this one's kind of going up at an angle a little bit. So if I want to keep that angle up, I can just move this side to go up at that angle as well. You can do it straight, you can do a slight angle, just kind of whatever your preference is. So come around the ear, Put it down. Get that ear there. Alright, so that's pretty much for the first part. Now, a lot of times I like to start at the top, but what I can do is I'm gonna just take the fade up. So that was my first one. I'm gonna go to the second notch here and do the second one. I'm gonna go up probably about a half an inch from the bottom here. About a half an inch, probably between a half and a quarter of an inch up. Just going straight up. I'm gonna do that all the way around. All the way around. What I can do, get my mirror, get my brush, see what I'm looking like back toward the back. Let's see. Oh, I kind of went up a little too far in that one spot there, but that's okay. I'll fix that. That's fine. Now, I'll repeat that. So now I'm gonna go to the third notch, right? Now, if you have different hair lengths, you may use different adjustments. My hair is pretty short, so I don't need a guard, but if you have guards, you can use guards as well. So, but these just different lengths in the fade that I'm doing up. So again, third notch, go up again. Now, come around there, same thing. Just around, same way. All right. So now for the top, what I do, and for my length of hair, is whatever guard setting that you use. I'm gonna typically do between a 3 and a 2 on the top, and I'm gonna go forward. So you'll see me cut most of this down. Since I'm baldy, what I try to do is try to get it low where I can kind of blend some of those bald spots in with the hair length. So again, I'm just go forward. I still may have some dark patches, so it may take several times to go over it and try to get those out. So the hair is dry, so you see it flaking. And I'm gonna show you what I need to use more often to get rid of that, in between cuts, to keep it where it's not so dry. I wear hats a lot, so the scalp stays dry. But I'm gonna show you something that you can use in between your haircuts that'll help keep that away. So that was a 3. I'm gonna go down to a 2. Just see if I can clean this up a little bit more. Now, I haven't turned around and looked at this back. I'm thinking I probably got some spots that I didn't capture from going from the top of my head down. So we'll take a look at that in a second. I'm just trying to, again, blend this in. All right, so I can hear it, so I can Just go again on the back. And now I'm gonna go back to that 3 on the clipper. Then I'm gonna go down. So you see this spot right here? So left some area around here, so just need to clean it up. Just go down. Then I got some other parts here in this line that I'm gonna have to work out as it relates to the fade. I'm not worried about that right now. Just really just trying to clean the back of my head off. Then you can see I got a little spot on this side. Need to work out. And as I'm cutting, I don't hear much coming off. So I'm gonna just adjust the clipper up just a little bit. I'm gonna show you a trick too for that. In the case where you're cutting down and it's not coming up, you can kind of brush against the grain with and then come forward. Against the grain, come forward. And that'll help to kind of blend some of that in. So you may see this blending a little bit better. All right, so just brush all the way around. And then now we're gonna go back and start working on the fade. Okay, so remember I started at the bottom completely closed. And so I'm gonna go back there one more time, just kind of clean up things. So bottom. And again, I kind of know I went up to this kind of imaginary line. Well, not imaginary, it was a stopping point right in this area. And just again go up. Ear down, on the ear. Now, so that's fine. So that should be pretty good there. That's looking pretty good. So now I'm gonna start working this fade out. So now I'm gonna go in between the 1 and the 2, about halfway. I'm gonna use my brush. So here, just want to go up just a little bit, brush down. And here I'm trying to blend that bottom line out. And so time I may kind of change the position of the clipper to go around. And I kind of know where that spot is on my head, so I can just go around. Up, down. And this is going to really help pull that line out. Then I'll come to this side and just basically switch hands. Brush forward, pull the line out. You know, the camera angle is kind of hard from that side, but I just repeating the same thing that I did on the opposite side of my head. Brush down, pull up. Brush down, pull up. Brush down, pull up. And so as I do that, you'll see that that fade is coming in nicely, right? That was for that bottom line. Now, so the second time I went to 2, right? So slightly higher. So go back here again. Just take the clipper up just a little bit more, right? I'm gonna follow that all the way around my head. Okay. Again, gotta kind of see a line like right in here. So what I'm gonna do is go between the 2 and the 3, go up a little bit higher, use my brush again, Brush down. And if you don't have a brush, you can use a comb as well. Fine tooth comb, that works. So we'll do it again. Do it on this side. Down, up, up. You can tell I'm going up farther up because I'm cutting more. And again, I'm trying to get that top line out. I'm gonna tell you, the brush really helps to get the hair to lay down as you're cutting in the opposite direction. Finish going all around. Sometimes you gotta look back too to make sure that as you're cutting, your finger doesn't hit the blade, hit the adjustment, and that it slide on you. Because if you do that, you mess around and get two different lengths. So kind of keep your thumb and finger out of the way. So going down, going up, down, up. Take a look back at that. Use my mirror. See what we're looking like on that fade around. Okay, it's coming together. Now I see I got a couple of dark spots, like right in here. I have one here. I got some up there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the clipper, and I think when I started at the top, I was at the 3. I'm gonna drop it down a little bit more. Or what I may do is just leave it at 3, brush my hair in the opposite direction, and cut in the opposite direction that I'm brushing. And I'm gonna listen to see if I hear the hair being cut. If I don't hear much hair being cut, then I know I'm gonna have to go lower. So I'm gonna brush it to the rear, brush that to the rear, and cut going forward. So I can kind of hear that. I can hear that cutting. So I know that some hair is being cut because I can hear it. Sometimes when you're making fine adjustments, sometimes you can't actually see the hair being cut, but you can trust your ears and listen for hair being cut. All right, now on this side I don't hear a whole bunch, but I can still see that dark spot. So in that case, I'm gonna have to go a little lower. Again, and then these dark spots come forward, and then I'm gonna change the angle of the clipper, see if it helps me out. So I'm gonna just use that edge and see if that's gonna help me get that dark spot there out. A brush. Now, again, let me brush backwards and see if I can hear barely a little coming out, and that's good because, again, I don't want to make drastic changes because I may mess around and have it too low That's why when you're trying to get some hair out and you don't have much room for error, you make small adjustments with the clipper setting. Same spot. So now I got that. I'm gonna back it out just a little bit and go up again. See if I can get that dark spot out just a little bit more. Yeah, it seems to be coming out for me. All right, I do remember I had a spot in the back that I gotta work on as well. And then even on this side, I can kind of see the line right here. I'm not sure if you can see it in the camera there, but kind of see the line there. So let me kind of fade that back out again. Go back to my 3, pull it down, go up. can still hear the clipper working a little bit, so I know it's cutting down some, which is good. So it looks good. Alright, so I think this is pretty decent on the fade. Now, what I'm gonna do is start the line up here. So a lot of times what I like to do is, I may start here on the sideburns. So let's say just pull those up, even them off. And what I do, I use a position on my ear, kind of see, so it's like at the bottom of the hole, so I know I can do the same side, opposite. And then you can see it in the mirror, opposite side to try to get it to line up. So come around the back side, hold the ear down, and I'll just slowly, so I'm using just the edge of the blade here to be able to slowly, just that much of the blade, to be able to slowly cut around and angle it around my ear. So just come down, angle it around, and then do the same thing, just kind of going the opposite way. And then when I get to the back, I'll be able to take it down at one side. Got hair going on the ears. I just go around lightly, cleaning that hair up. Sometimes you got it growing on top. So that, now you see the sideburn kind of growing out. So what I'll do is try to hold the clipper parallel to my face, so we're straight. And I'll just pull it back. And I'll just walk it up my face. Walk it up, and my goal is to keep it straight such that I make a straight line. So let's see, and then if it looks like I'm off a little bit, I'll just come down and walk it straight up. So then I can clean the bottom of that off again. And then here, what I try to like to do is kind of take an angle and a curve and go around. So let's see how this is gonna do. And you can see like some pulling the skin. So I pull the skin up. And again, I'm using the edge of that blade. Just walk it around. Now, one thing is, if your skin is oily and you've been sweating a lot, and there's a lot of grease deposits in your skin, that will make your hair harder to cut. So sometimes you may have to wash your hair first and then come back and cut your hair. It will make for a much easier cut, and the blades doesn't have to try to fight through grease and stuff, and it just makes for a sharper cut. So if you have that problem, wash your hair first, dry it real good, then come and cut it. And so here I'm just work on this line, I'm just walk up. Now, one thing about lines, and try not to go back too far such that you're pulling in an effort to get the line straight, that you're slowly moving it to the back of your head. Because, those of us that are older, having receding hairlines it's real, it's no joke. Then the top, all I'm gonna do is just go up. And I'm not gonna go back too far, even though, my hair is thinning. I'm gonna just say, hey, I'm gonna just go there. No farther. I'm gonna try to even it a little bit, but I'm not gonna go back too far. And another thing, to the point, when you're making a line up, sometimes you may not be able to get it exactly straight, and that's okay, because some guys, they may get the line exactly straight, but when they get it straight, what it's doing is inching back to other parts of their hair, and after a while, to keep getting it straight, their hairline is gonna keep going back further and further. So I'm just do the same thing on this side. And actually, sometimes I go back too far on this side myself. So I have to try to remind myself not to go back so far. Then I'm gonna do the same thing here. Turn to go up around, kind of make that angle. Again, using the corner of the blade. Here. So now go up, come down. Got a shade, but all I'm trying to do at this point is just tailor that off. So again, I told you, I can use my ears, so you see the hole in the ear. Use that as a marker. So I'm a little low on this side, so I'm gonna have to come up some. So I got that. Now what I'm trying to do now is just bring the sideburn and even it up and walk it up my face to where that sideburn is coming straight down. Now see here, I got a little area where it went in, so I can go up and clean it up. And sometimes I have to like hold it down here, or try to clip it back over and push in. Alright. Sorry about that. And what I'll do here is go around the bottom of the ear. Again, and hold it down. Use the corner of the blade. Slowly take my time. Go around. Do that. Clean the excess hair off my ear. It's growing. You young guys, y'all don't have that problem. And moms, when you're cutting your son's hair, you don't really have to worry about on the ear so much, but you will have to be concerned with coming around the ear. So one thing to do, you can tell them to hold the ear for you. Say, hey, just hold the ear down, and then you can walk it around yourself with the blade as they're holding the ear, because since it's just me, I'm having to hold the ear and walk it around, and you'll get better at it. But if you make your son hold his ear as you go around, it'll be good. All right, so that's pretty much it there. So now we're gonna walk through. I'm gonna show you how to line up the sides and the back. So first I'm gonna brush it down. And you know what? I don't think I took that spot out in the back. Let me check. Kinda didn't. I don't know if you can see it in the camera here from in the mirror, but it's right in here. So I'm gonna go back to my 3. Actually, I'm gonna go up a little further than 3, and I'm gonna kind of go up. So be careful going the wrong way. But again, it's fine adjustments. And I'm just slowly taking it out. And again, I'm just trusting my clippers, and I'm listening. And I can hear it slowly buzzing a little bit, just cutting some out. And I can see I still got a dark spot right here. So I'm gonna open the clipper all the way up. Go forward. I'm gonna go against the grain. Be careful doing this, because you gotta make sure your lengths are okay. Because if not, you can cause yourself to going against the grain if you're not sure about the size and the length of the hair you're cutting. You can cut more than what you want to cause an issue that you have to correct later. So that's pretty good. Got that out. So now, get ready for lining up on the sides, and we'll be done with this. So as you can see, it takes some time to learn to cut it. You know, you can cut it yourself, or you're cutting your child's or your male in your family, their hair as well. And I tell you, the more you do it, the better you're gonna get, and you will save a lot of money over the years. Yes, some haircuts now, barbers are charging $14, $15, $18, $20, sometimes even $20, depending upon where you live in the country. So all I'm gonna do here is just grab the bait and just pull it down. So I'm just making that line. I'm just slowly walking it down. Slowly walking it down. And since my hair is really, really short here, the line may not be that distinguishable in the footage. But that's that. Now I'm gonna do the other side. Enough of the mirror. This side, come around that ear, clean up a little of that. All I'm doing is just walking that line down. And one thing is, try not to use too much pressure because, like in my case, skin on the back of my neck is really sensitive. You can kind of see a little bit here where it gets a little red and irritated. So try not to push down too hard with clippers. And even if you say, hey, I'm not gonna be able to cut my hair this long, I'm gonna have to go back to the barber. Sometimes barbers are heavy-handed and they'll cut you too fine, or the blades may be too sharp and it may irritate your skin. In that case, I would suggest using some alcohol or some astringent to put back there to kind of soothe it. If you don't have any astringent, you can get some aftershave lotion. That'll help well. Maybe some with some aloe vera to kind of help that broken skin heal. And on the here, just fix this one side, and we are about finished with the home haircut. So, again, my hair grows pretty fast in spots where it grows. But you can save a lot of money cutting your own hair. I've been cutting my hair now for over 7 years consistently. So now you can see my sideburns a little darker, particularly this side. What I'll do, I'll open up the blade typically to fit 4 or 3, and I'll just go bottom up. Really don't hear much cutting there, so I'll just inch up a little bit more and go to 3. On this side, a little bit longer, so you should, I can hear it cutting a little bit more there. Just want to blend that in, cut it down where it's not so dark. So just do a once over again so I can still see like a little line around here. So again, I started skin fade from the bottom up. So I'm gonna go probably about half and just work this line out slowly. Go back to my brush, push it down, all I'm doing. And you can see that sometimes I change the angle of the clipper just so I can see it cut. Now, one thing I can do is I can close it all the way back and then slowly just go down. Since I'm not going against the grain, it's not cutting the same length. When you're going with the grain, it doesn't cut as close going down. But if I were to take this and go up, then I'm doing the skin fade again. That's why I would go to like in between the 1 and the 2. Try to work that out. So looks like that worked out. So now I'm gonna do it once over again on this top, get it down just a little bit lower. So I'm gonna go just a shade above the 2 on the clipper. And again, this is just for my hair. Different lengths will cause for different adjustment on the clippers. And again, you may have to use guides, and that's fine. So and I would always say when you use a guide, always go with too much first. A guide that's too big as opposed to too small, because you can always cut more hair off. If you mess around and cut too much hair off, you can't put it back on. So just take your time. Take your time. Still got a line over here. So I'm gonna work this out. So as you see, and now after I wash my hair, I will really be able to see how well the cut is, because the loose hairs and the grease from your hair will be removed, and you can get a better sense of the cut. But for a home haircut, just kind of what we got. Make sure I'm in the frame. That's the back. And the side. Thank you all for watching. Hope you find it helpful. Stay safe.